This is just such a clear case of we got to take the time, we got to understand the dog, we have to fulfill that dog, give them the thing that they're searching for. And I'll tell you, just from professional experience and working a lot of working breeds that aren't getting what they want, you do that, and just in that process, you're establishing a priority. The dog will start choosing you more readily because it's something that they can commit to. Remember that reactivity is it's a unrequited love. Like they're not able to do anything other than bark and ramp, and then you pull them. So it's stifled. So when you give them stimulation and you give them a reinforcement pathway, and there's a arousal there, maybe there's toys, you're satiating this thing where they're like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. But then all the while you're practicing like listening to you when you're excited and committing to you in various environments with excitement. And pretty soon the dog goes, no, this is awesome. This is all I was looking for. That's it. And I'm not saying that will unequivocally fix all of your reactivity when it comes to reactive working breeds, but it is a large part of the solution. It is a significant part of the solution. And the differences beyond that come down to what would have happened if the dog calmed down. Because as you guys have seen many working breeds, I removed that first layer of overstimulation. And for this dog, he just went, nah, that was fucking cool. Oh, I like that. But other dogs, they're like, okay, I'm not overstimulated now. Fuck you. And they move into like conflict aggression, right? Or I'm not overstimulated now, but you're giving me treats. Get the fuck away from my treats. And now they start resource guarding the food, right? You remove that first layer, and then you have this other layer. What's here? What am I going to deal with here? Is there viability for socialization? Is there viability for just getting you chill around dogs? Is there a fear issue? Remember that over threshold and committing to these fixed action patterns of reactivity and aggression, once you remove it, there can be an element of fear there that might have somewhat driven it. Really, the arousal and the adrenaline was in the driver's seat and the fear was in the passenger seat. So when you remove that, you got the passenger seat fear going, oh, fuck. And now you get, I'm not overstimulated and I'm not trying to fight you, but what the fuck? And they're like avoiding and they keep flinching every time the dog moves, right? So you're just always removing layer upon layer, and you're still assessing. You're fixing the driver, you're removing the driver to see the next problem, to fix it and keep addressing and get to the heart of it all, right? That's the beautiful thing about behavior. But that's the beautiful thing about assessing dogs appropriately. You are learning so much about that dog, and the opportunity to learn the same level of complexity and nuance with the next dog that has a different temperament, a different circumstance, different drivers, different nuances, different breed, and then the next dog and the next dog and the next dog. And now as a behaviorist, you're working 5,000 dogs and you have this qualitative database for what is similar and then what is different, right? And then you start working all these different ways to help these dogs and address these layers, and you're in a rhythm and you're good and people are calling you and you're known for it. And now everything is just an ebb and flow with what am I going to work in this moment? What does this dog need from me in this moment? And then that motherfucker walks in the door and they are not presenting in any of the ways that other dogs did. And you're like, what the fuck? And your brain is, this is different. I haven't seen this before. And you immediately move to observe. Why are they doing this? What's new about this? What's different? Is it a circumstancing? Is it a medical thing? Is there something going on up top? Right? And that dog will teach you something new. That's the fucking beautiful thing. At the end of the session, I was like, hey, he keeps switching his weight after everything was all said and done. And all of a sudden I saw him favoring. And when I looked, his one paw's this way and one paw's that way. And then he couldn't put weight on it. And you could just see he was adjusting his weight. He's got something up. Something's wrong with his foot. Like, you got to get him checked. Go see a specialist, go see an orthopedic surgeon and get him checked out. That came from other dogs way back in the day that I missed. It came back as hip dysplasia, came back as this and that. The experience of these things, they build a sensitivity to what else am I missing? And that is one of the things that is fucking wrong with all of the dog training industry, is that no one is missing anything. Everybody has it figured out. Everybody's got the protocol down pat. Everybody's selling something on the seminar circuit. No one's asking, what else am I missing? There is no standardized way of assessing dogs. Assessment in itself is not a priority for the industry. Solve is a priority for the industry. We're like the 1700s and we're selling fucking cure-all snake oil on the side of a fucking wagon. That is as evolved as the dog training industry is when it comes to behavior. And at the end of it all, if you just care enough to be curious and learn about the dog in front of you, lo and behold, you will amass enough experience that you will become wildly talented and successful in your role as a dog trainer. But you have to remain curious, and you can't for a second think you got it figured out, because if you're not open to that, there will be a dog 10 dogs down the road, or 20 dogs, or 200 dogs down the road, that you will fail miserably because you didn't have it all figured out, and that dog was there to show you that. Soapbox over. Fella, I want to say that I'm writing a book about the industry, and I'm thinking these things, and I'm putting them in chapters, and because I think them, I'm saying them, okay? But you get the gist of it.